Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. My hormones make me a nutcase. Hope you are all doing well.
Welcome, welcome.
So today we're going to be talking a little bit about weekends and why they throw a lot of people off, I suppose. How people view the weekends. Potentially, you might view it as a bit of a cheat day or a cheat 2 days, and just how to kind of not let the weekends completely throw you off track, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's so easy, isn't it? You're out of routine. It's not your daily 9 to 5 where you've probably had your breakfast, packed your lunch, you know what you've got sorted for dinner once everyone's in from work. This is just a standard day, by the way. This is not everyone's day. Um, but it's not that on a weekend, is it? You're out and about, you're doing stuff. Like you might not have a lunch to take with you, because why would you if you're going out to go and see, I don't know why the Mary Rose comes to my mind, but if I go down to see the Mary Rose, not that I've ever done that. Like I wouldn't be taking a packed lunch with me. So things get thrown out of kilter, don't they? And you don't know sometimes how long you're out for, where you're going. Sometimes you meet friends and they're like surprising you, or you go to a friend's barbecue. There's so many different things that can happen on a weekend. And a lot of people, like you say, they either use this weekend to be like, oh, well, it's fine. I'll just do what I want and I'll get back on it on Monday. Or, yeah, or they just don't know how to navigate the weekend as a whole when it comes to
Yeah,
the health and wellness.
definitely. And I think it is that for the majority of people. It's that I know definitely for myself, like I've got so much structure in the week that we get to the weekend and it is like, what am I doing? Where am I going? I might want to be spontaneous and go and do something random for lunch, or maybe it's like, oh yeah, should we just go out for dinner or whatever. So that whole structure and routine that you've built Monday to Friday has just gone down the pan. And then you just think, well, I'll just have something random for breakfast. I'll just do this and I'll just go out for a slice of cake. And then it just goes, it just kind of spirals. Because once you've started on that track, well, I've screwed the weekend. What's the point? I'll start again Monday. That kind of mentality then starts to come in, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was definitely one for this a lot of the time. Like, still sometimes now, like, you can just be like, oh, yeah, like you say, the spontaneity side of it. Yeah, fuck it, let's go out. Let's go out for dinner. Let's do this. If your friend goes, oh, come on, do you want to go to the pub? Yeah, okay, fine, let's go to the pub. But, like, I think more so now, I've created a routine where I still will have my breakfast 90% of the time, obviously. If you're away for the weekend or a wedding, maybe stuff like that might be a little bit different or look a bit different. But if I'm at home, even if I know I'm going out for the day, I will always make sure I have my breakfast.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Still have my Greek yogurt, the same thing, Saturday and Sunday. I still make it like a couple of days before in my little pots, everything in there. And if I'm at
Hmm.
home, then I'll always have that. Like there's no reason. I very rarely go out for breakfast because I get hungry too early. Like people are like, oh, we'll go out for brunch at 10. Well, no, I need to have eaten my breakfast by then. Do you know what I mean?
I have a double breakfast. I'll just have something smaller later, and then have like a brunch thing if that happens. Because I'm the
Yeah,
same
that's
as you.
fair
By the time 10 o'clock, I'm eating my arm.
enough. And I feel like as well, if you start your day off with having your breakfast, then it like sets you up with good intentions for the day. Whereas if you already start your day off kind of on a slippery slope, it then's so easy to go downhill,
Oh,
especially if you,
yeah.
yeah,
Karen, I was
like
just
if
agreeing.
you like if you have your protein and stuff, it also keeps you full, stabilizes your blood sugar levels, helps with the cravings, all that kind of stuff too. So it's just, yeah, one top tip: start your day with your breakfast, your normal breakfast, Saturday and Sunday. You'll have something else. You don't have to do the same thing you have in the week, but make it kind of pretty healthy and balanced as well. So you're not completely like, yeah, deep fried pancakes and all this stuff, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes you've got a bit more time on a weekend to do something like a little bit fancier. So if you are having
Yeah.
like your Greek yogurt and fruit and stuff in the week, or your overnight oats, whatever it is that you're having, have them prepped and ready. And then on a weekend, you might go, actually, I'm going to have avo on toast with some eggs, or I don't know, an omelette. Like there's different things that you can do. Or you could make Not deep fried pancakes, but you could make other
I don't
types
know
of
where that came
pancakes, you
from.
know?
I've
I
never
mean,
heard of deep fried pancakes, but they sound
today
good.
that is a thing. I'm sure someone somewhere deep fries their pancakes.
Yeah,
Um, but you might have time to make it something a little bit fancier than you normally have, and just to feel like you're not in that same routine, because some people just don't like eating the same thing every day. And I mean, I get it, but I don't get it because I just eat the same thing most of the time anyway.
yeah.
But it's good to have those times where you are potentially having something different, but that doesn't mean you just go, oh, screw it, I'll just have, I don't know, or not have breakfast or whatever, like you can still make something that is got protein in and your veg and all of that stuff. Um, and even after, so I did a reel on it like the other day, even after you've like had a day of like eating, I don't know, you might have just eaten whatever you wanted, as much as you wanted, drunk whatever, like just had a day of it, because those days happen. We all have those days still. Like it's not something that you stop doing, you just do less of, or you learn to navigate a little bit better. However, the next day, just go back to eating your normal breakfast.
Yeah.
Don't skip it. Don't think, oh, I can't eat breakfast today because I ate loads yesterday. Don't do that, because you're instantly then triggering yourself like, I can't eat, I'm not going to eat, like, and that's just unhealthy. So just get back to eating your normal breakfast the next day, because then you're setting yourself up, like you just said, for a really good day of like, okay, I'm eating my protein, I'm going to feel fuller, I'm etc etc.
And I've done that before in the past where I've been like, well, I just won't have breakfast and then I'll have something a little bit less for lunch. But the thing is that if you don't have the breakfast, you're then really hungry, and then it's really hard to stay on track the rest of that day because
Hmm.
you're so hungry, and then you might end up not eating as much as you should that day, and the next day you're even more hungry, so you maybe binge the next day. It's just a spiral. Whereas actually, if you just accept that, okay, that day wasn't the best, but go back to normal the next day, get like that, then you're just back into your normal routine rather than the restrict binge restrict kind of binge cycle that could then happen because of the back.
Yeah, yeah, which isn't good for anyone or anything, and you're less likely to get you good results from doing that as well. At least if you get back on track, like say, you're more gonna be more focused and get back to it, and it's like, okay, that day's been and gone, cool, let's move on, let's go. um and like when we've been doing this, when we did the 6 week cut, like we still went out and had meals. Like I think pretty much, I don't know, three of maybe the 6 weekends, I think I went out for dinner. I might have even gone out for dinner like on the Saturday and the Sunday on a couple of them. And yes, I absolutely went over my calories, but that didn't stop me getting results, because like I'd get back to it the next day. Do you know what I mean? Like one or two meals isn't going to be the end of the world. If that one or two meals ends up being like all your meals, then that's, you've got a problem and you're not going to get results. Whereas if it's only one or
Yeah,
two, like that is not the end of the world. One meal should not throw you off track, as people call it.
no, absolutely. I think as well, it's like
Goodbye.
looking. Oh, goodbye.
Sorry, just disappeared behind the curtain.
I know I used to look at it, and I still fight that mentality sometimes of, well, I've been really good this week, so I deserve to treat myself at the weekend, and almost viewing it as like a bit of a cheat day, and that can often come from being overly restrictive on your weekdays. So
Mhm.
if you're not allowing yourself to have some of your favorite things, or maybe not eating out or going out, or it's like, right, Monday to Friday I have to be perfect, that can then lead you to fall off track at the weekend. So things that I do is like, I had a ice cream from Lidl last night, one of those, they got new ones in there, they're really nice. So I went and got myself those. Have one of those. Like, I'm going out for dinner tonight with friends. And by just including little things like that, having a little bit of chocolate each day, cooking meals that I actually want to eat, like, just helps to, I'm just being more inclusive so the weekend doesn't feel like, oh, I've not done anything that I want, so now I see everything that I want, because then Monday we'll be back to restricting. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It does. Because like you say, it's then not like we said before, like your body has no idea what day it is. So then if you eat like how you were just saying, where you treat it like every day is like a similar day, it doesn't matter whether if you go out on a Thursday, a Sunday, a Friday, whatever, like you're not just living for that weekend. It's like you say, it's the same as a job that you hate, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like people like Monday to Friday, they're like, ugh, and then they live for that weekend, and that weekend then becomes like an emotional de-stressor in a way because you're then waiting for that whole weekend, one to feel better because you don't like your job or your housing situations like you got kids running around all the time and that's stressful. Like you put everything onto this weekend and you're using food and everything like that as the way to cope with how your Monday to Friday goes.
mhm,
Whereas if you do some of those things that you do on a weekend throughout the week as well, that weekend then doesn't seem so prominent and so like, oh, I need to wait for the weekend to do that. You can do it throughout.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like maybe you fancy a pizza in the week, but you think, oh no, I shouldn't have that this week's in the week, so I'll wait till I'll get a Domino's on Saturday. Whereas you can buy like small, nice pizzas from quite a lot of places now, which are like 400, 500, 600 calories. On Wednesday night, if you fancy a pizza, you can still have that, which fits into your calories or portions, however you're doing it. Or maybe add a bit of protein, add a side salad to it. Then you're kind of that craving that you've got, you're meeting that craving. So then you probably get Saturday, you don't think, oh, I'll grab a Domino's with side of chicken and whatever, because you kind of,
Hmm.
I appreciate maybe the small pizza isn't quite as tasty as that, but it's you're still having that pizza that you want. Um, yeah, so you're not just saving it all up for that weekend.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, like I would struggle to have a takeaway on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sometimes even a Thursday, because in my head I'm like, that's a weekend thing. Like just because if we've
Yeah,
ever had a takeaway, it would be like a Saturday night or a Friday night. Like, and the thought of I'm like, oh, people are gonna think, do people have takeaways Monday to like Wednesday? Like, what happens? Is this a thing? And when I see people in the fish and chip shop, I'm like, oh, people go out on other days to get takeaways. Like,
I know what you mean. I'm exactly the same. It does feel weird. And if it's like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but Thursday onwards, it feels okay, doesn't it? But it
yeah,
does feel slightly like wrong, which is
yeah. But then I suppose that's the
it.
way society's always been, right? Like, and that's what you
Yeah,
would do, like probably with your parents or whatever. Like we used to have pizza Fridays. Like we always had a pizza on a Friday.
yeah,
So then if I have it on a different day, I mean sometimes I might, but like very rarely I do. I would have save it until like a Thursday or Friday. But like yeah, if I had it a different day, I'd be like, oh, this feels weird.
I suppose it is quite enough because everyone's busier, aren't they, on the weekdays? Like people are generally working with their families, school, whatever. So it doesn't feel as enjoyable. Whereas like on a Saturday, if you've been off work and you're a bit more chilled, you've had a nice day, like, oh, we're back for a nice dinner, you're already in a bit of a relaxed mentality. So no, it just feels better in a way, more
Mm.
comforting. Whereas like, oh yeah, we'll go quickly out for dinner tonight. We'll rush back, got to get back to bed, got to get to bed because you've got to be up early. It's just like not quite a nice experience, I suppose.
Yeah. I was really just like last night when we went for a wedding and it was a really lovely wedding. But I'm so confused as to what day it is today because we went for a wedding on a Wednesday night. I'm like, who has a wedding on a Wednesday night? Like, and obviously, and then there was a lot of people that were like, I don't feel like I can like get fully like invested in this. Like, it's nice, but they don't feel like they can drink and do all of those things or stay as late because they're like, I've got work tomorrow. So I
Yeah,
suppose it's the same thing with like restaurants, isn't it? And I think like as well, I've been out a couple of times, not recently, but like I've done it before in the past where I finished work at like 7:30 got to somewhere for 8 o'clock, and the restaurant or the place that you're going to is getting ready to, like, yeah, you're the last ones in there. There's no one left. Like, they're hauling your dinner out real quick and they're waiting for you to go because they want to be shut and gone by 9. Like, and it's just,
Yeah,
it does, like you say, feel rushed. Whereas on a weekend, it doesn't feel that people know that people are going to be hanging around until like 10, 11 o'clock, don't they?
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So you might want to save your. I do think it's nice, like if you are able to go out for dinner or have a takeaway or something like that. Like I do think it's nice to do that on a weekend, and we're not saying do it in a weekday, not do it the weekend.
Yeah, no,
Um,
absolutely not. I mean, you won't see me do it on a weekday.
but it's like having a bit of a plan. So I think I used to plan Monday to Friday, and I still kind of do, but I still have a plan for the weekend. So it's like before it would just be like breakfast, lunch, and dinner stacks Monday to Thursday or Monday to Friday kind of lunchtime. And then I would be
Mhm.
like, oh, it will be what it will be at the weekend. But then I was finding that we might go out and have something for lunch, and it might be order a takeaway or have something a little bit less healthy. Maybe that follows on to Sunday. Whereas now I do plan my breakfast in there, and also I'm like, right, well, if I do go out for lunch, am I freezing or am I okay?
No, you're good.
So this is something to
I
be something.
really wanted to say, no, you're hot, but then I thought, no, I can't say that because you'll be like, that.
I'm hot.
Yeah, because you said, am I freezing? I don't know. No, you're hot.
Oh, I see. I was like,
Exactly. That's
that's
why I didn't
funny.
say it because I knew you'd be
Yeah.
like, what?
Well, thanks. I'm hot though. um, but yeah, now it's kind of I'm like, well, okay, let's have some options. I don't need to eat extravagant meals all weekend. So if I have some jacket potatoes in the freezer, like I can have beans on toast on a Sunday evening. Or I usually have like my little backup options there for a weekend and plan and do my like I suppose more. I like to do it in the weekdays. I like to have nicer dinners where I actually like last night we had sweet. It was gochujang beef mince with rice. Yeah, it's actually really easy, but it's really good. Whereas on like a weekend, I'm quite happy to be like beans on toast or beans and jacket potato or an easy pasta dish, something that I've kind of got left in the cupboards that I know is there, rather than making something a little bit more fancy as such.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a good thing to do, isn't it? Like you, I like this week, I got enough chicken and salmon out, so I have lunches sorted. And I knew there was like, I'd look at my diary and be like, right, I haven't got anything in like Friday night. Like, so I will make my dinner. Like, so I'll have enough chicken out so I can do lunches and dinners. But normally I'll make sure I've got 5 days of lunches and then 4 dinners. And then if I need to, then I've got, like you say, like something easy in the cupboard, like a jack potato. Obviously not jack potato in the cupboard, but I'll get a freezer one out because it's easier, quicker. Like then they're there. But that and like tuna on a Friday if I don't end up going out. Like and like yeah, like this week we're gonna meet. So I was like, oh, there's potential that we might eat, but I don't 100% know. But I'll make sure, obviously, before we leave, I'm gonna have my breakfast in the morning because if I try and teach a class and not breakfast, I'll just be thinking about my stomach. Um, then yeah, if we go out, we go out. If we don't, we don't. But I'm gonna take some bits with me. So I'll have like apple. I'm gonna have like a nut bar or something with me, like that I can pack in a backpack just in case I need it, because I probably will need it if we don't eat. Like
Yeah,
on the like for whilst we're out and about walking. But I don't have anything in the Saturday, so I know like okay, I will have something. I know I can plan for that Saturday night because I know I don't have anything on. And again, for the Sunday, I've got football. Well, no, we're gonna well, I would have football, so I'd miss a meal. Like when I've got football, I miss a meal because of the timings of football. So then I know I can have like a bigger dinner or I have
yeah,
a bigger breakfast. And then I'll take like an oat bar as a snack to fuel me for football.
yeah,
Like it works slightly differently, but I look at my week as a whole and go, right, when am I actually going to go out? What days? Like, actually, do you know what? I've got enough food for tonight, but Sam and I are going, we're going to go and walk around and see how many lions we can pick up. Like, this sounds weird to anyone else, but there's loads of lions around Portsmouth,
Lion,
um,
like
like statue lions, like
oh,
lions, yeah,
I thought you
statue
were saying
lions.
lions, like lion. I was like, lions.
No lions, and you can go and get codes, and they're on the map, and you can find there's like 45 of them to find,
Oh,
um,
okay, cool.
which is a cool thing. But it's only here for like a month or so. But there's potential we might go out for food.
Yeah,
So I've put that in, like I have got a dinner that I could use, but I've also gone, but there's potential I'm going out at this point. So there's potentially 2 days or 3 days this week I might be going out because we're going to Birdworld as well. But Birdworld, I can take my own food if I want to.
yeah, yeah,
So it's just planning for those things, isn't it? Seeing what's coming up and being like, right, like
yeah,
on a Tuesday, Wednesday, be like, right, cook all this for my lunches. Lunches are sorted, quick and easy. Takes 10 minutes to put a salad together. Done. Like got my protein cooked. Don't need to worry about that. And then yeah, navigating those weekends by being like, oh, I could take some food with me there, or okay, I won't be able to take food with me there, but I'll make sure around that I'll eat really well.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. I think another way to do it as well is if you prefer to kind of have maybe more of like a fakeaway option. Like sometimes I like chicken tenders and I like chips and things like that. Depends what I fancy. I fancy different things, but sometimes I'm like really crave that. But if I'm buy a bag of those to keep in the freezer, same as with chips, then you kind of feel like you can still not have a hugely calorific meal, but you can still have something at home that you could potentially get as a takeaway, which is going to save you money. Still, it's not the healthiest thing, it's not the worst thing in the world,
Mm.
but it's something like maybe on a Friday night I can just whack in the air fryer, add a few veggies on the side of it, so you've got a little bit of balance. And then you're like, still fits into my week, still fits into my portions, etc. But it's a little bit of a takeaway. So that's always an
Yeah.
option as well.
And it saves you time as well sometimes because sometimes takeaways take forever or they never turn up because the driver decides to take your takeaway. So
That does happen. That does
and
happen.
that's friggin' annoying. I can't
Yeah.
I still can never believe that. Emma basically told me once that, oh, I can't remember which company it was, but they were like, oh, someone's had it so many times, like their deliveries have never turned up. And I'm like, as if that happens. And then that night it happened to us. Like, oh, that was so
And we've
sad.
literally driven past the place we'd ordered from, hadn't we, as well? Can't remember
Yeah,
why we had.
yeah.
And then we were
Yeah.
like, no, order it. We got back and then didn't show up.
Yeah. And then we didn't end up, and then we had to go back and pick it up anyway. And we didn't end up getting it until like 10 p.m. or some shit. And we ordered it at like 6:30 or something. Like, honestly, we might as well, we should have just made our own shit by that point
Yeah, we
because
should have
like, I
done.
was ready to eat someone's arm. Got a thing with people's arms.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, it's really true. I think as well,
But
like you're
yeah.
kind of saying with planning stuff, I always I always like to make sure I do have my 3 meals because if I go on a weekend and I'm kind of like, oh, I'll just have a little snack there, a little snack there. I'm hungry all day. I don't know if you find this yourself, but as soon as I start picking and snacking, I could just keep eating and eating and eating and eating. Whereas if I
Mhm.
have like my actual breakfast, lunch, and dinner of some sort, I'm fine. But as soon as I start snacking and grazing, I cannot stop.
Yeah, absolutely. But then I suppose it's the same. Like yesterday, obviously I knew I was going to the wedding, and I was like, I think there's going to be food, but I don't know what food it's going to be.
Yeah,
So I had my breakfast that day. I had my lunch. I had my dinner, and I still had a Greek yogurt bowl with like fruit and some chocolate and stuff on. Like my calories ended up like I had a little bit like less of some things because that was like 1,500 calories. Like, and my protein was high. It was like 140 odd grams or whatever. But I was like, I still have at least 500, 700 calories I can play with later on if there is food and I want it, or if there's cake and I want it, or if we have a couple of drinks. Now, if I hadn't have done that, or I was really hungry by the time I'd eaten dinner, and dinner was, I had my dinner at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. But if I hadn't have done that, there was pizza, right? The pizzas weren't massive, but they were really good. And I burnt the top of the roof of my mouth because I was so impatient and the cheese was
Oh,
too
that's
hot.
the worst.
I hate it. This is why I don't like hot food. I'm the most impatient person with hot food. Anyway, but if I hadn't have done eating how I ate in the day, I could have quite easily had like a pizza, maybe another one. I could have gone up for two pizzas, like quite easily. Um, and I probably would have like there was cake. I didn't end up getting cake because I didn't actually want cake. Like, and none of us did really. That wasn't. It was kind of cut, but it wasn't like put out or anything. Like, so we were too busy dancing and stuff. I had two Pims and half a pizza. I shared half a pizza with one of the other girls because I'd eaten in a day and I didn't turn up absolutely hungry, like starving hungry.
Yeah.
So I actually probably only had like I was probably 800, might have been a little bit more calories than that, maybe say max 1,000, but that wouldn't have put me then for the whole week. I would have still been in a deficit for the whole week because of all the activity and stuff I've done and what I'd eaten in the week. But so I wouldn't be going over what I was doing, and having like all of that stuff to eat then meant like I didn't go crazy in the evening and I didn't feel like I needed to, but I could still have that pizza and enjoy it.
Yeah. One of my clients has just said to me, she's got quite a few intolerances and things anyway. She was like, I just eat before I go to like a dinner party because I find it so uncomfortable having to tell someone what I can't eat. I then trying to be healthy and you don't necessarily get that and you don't want to say to them, I don't want to eat that because then you feel rude. So now she's just kind of said to people, I'll just eat before. And she goes and has a good time, sees her friends, has, socializes, but doesn't have to worry about that. And, her circumstance is a little bit different with intolerance and stuff, but that's just quite a good idea as well. Like if you are going over to friends three, four, if maybe you're a really social person and you go out quite a bit, maybe pick one of the days in the week where you're actually going to go there and eat something, or if you're going out with them, the other nights, eat before you go. And then you'll
Yeah,
be full, satisfied. Yeah.
definitely. And like if they're your friends, they'll understand. Like they'll just be like, okay, cool. Yeah, I've taken my own food with me to like say like Faye's house or whatever. And she's like, I'm gonna do pizzas. And I'm like, oh no, I've got some stuff, I'll just bring it. All right, cool. No judgment. Cool. Thank you. And like people get used to the way you do stuff, right? It might take them a little while to start with. We've had this conversation before, but like I used to work in an office, and how many cups of teas that people have. Oh my gosh. They chain drink teas in office. And I don't want to drink that many teas. Like, so whenever I started a new place, they'd be like, oh, do you want a tea? I was like, look, I'll have one, but like don't worry about making me any more. I'll make my own if I want them, because like when I started seeing how many teas people drank, I was like, I can't keep up with this. You've drunk a tea, and then the next person's making the next one, and the next person, no. And to the point where people would like stop offering me teas, and I was happy with that. I'm like, this is fine. Like, I don't mind every now and then making you one, but I don't want to be making 8 a day. Like, and again with like biscuits and sweets and stuff, people to start with will offer me them. I'm like, no, I'm okay, thank you. No, I'm okay, thank you. And then eventually people just stopped asking me.
Yeah.
And then when I had one, they're like, oh, you do eat that? I was like, yeah, but now I've chosen to eat it today. I don't want it every day. I don't need it every day. Like, I just don't, you know, but people get used to it.
Yeah. 100%. It just reminds me of, one of the biggest challenges. It's not really about the weekends, but we'll do a podcast on it sometime. But we've mentioned it before about things on your desk, but the stuff in the office that people have, I was just like, just don't have it, because all these women don't want it. Well, they do want it, but they don't want it, and it's
Mm.
just. But all offices seem to do just a big load of sweets and cakes and chocolates and all of this all the time, and everyone's trying to resist it, but everyone's bringing it in and everyone's eating it, and it's like, just don't do it. Just don't have
But
it
then
there.
everyone is eating it, having sugar crashes, can't work
Yeah,
past 3 p.m. because they're like, oh God. Like, or they're trying
yeah,
to use the sugar from these things to make them pack up at like 3 o'clock. Whereas if you actually had the stuff that's more nutrients dense out, like people would get used to eating that stuff instead because it would be the only thing that's available to them. And two, they'll probably be more productive because their brain's working better.
yeah. Maybe that's a podcast for another day, but it just came to my mind.
But yeah, absolutely. Like,
I
I
think the
think,
weekends as well. sorry,
No, carry on.
like making sure to keep up with your movement. Or to be fair, a lot of ladies that I work with tend to not move that much in the week. It's harder for them. So the weekends are the times where they actually can move more. But in some cases, it might be the other way around. You might still struggle to get movement in at the weekends. So
Yeah. I feel like I've got quite a few people that don't move on a weekend.
yeah, it's like almost, and don't get me wrong, you're probably tired, you're probably mentally exhausted, you're probably a little bit like maybe run down from the week, depending on what you do. But actually, if you got out and did a little walk, slow stroll even outside, even if it's just like half an hour or something, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, you'll be surprised how much better that's probably going to make you and actually help you to recover from the week rather than sitting in your living room, feeling sorry for yourself, eating chocolate.
Hmm.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
breakup. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but energy creates energy, doesn't it? Like, so
yeah,
if you move, you're going to create yourself some more energy and you're going to feel better and move more. Um, yeah. Uh, And also, obviously this is not for everyone, but like a lot of people aren't so time bound on a weekend. Like
yeah,
I know I enjoy my walk-in on a weekend way more than in the week because I'm like, oh, I don't have to be back for 7 a.m. I don't have to get up at 6, roll out of bed, take the dog for a walk. Quick, hurry up, let's go, let's go. We've only got like 20 minutes. Let's
yeah,
get back. Whereas I can get out, like where it's hot at the moment, I'm taking the dog out early. I can get up at like 6 and I can take him out until like 8. We could go down to the sea. I've got time to walk down there and back. And he enjoys it more because he's like, yes, I'm going to the sea. This is fantastic. Like, but you're a little less time bound most of the time, obviously, unless you've got
yeah,
a few things on, to go out and enjoy that time. Don't rush to go anywhere. Don't rush to get back. Like, actually, just go out and it's just nice to bumble along rather than being like, I need to quickly walk.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Just plan some kind of movement into your day. It's going to make you feel better. I mean, every day, but yeah, if you've got more time at the weekend, go and find a new walk somewhere. Like, I love looking for new places to go and walk and trying new trails and woodlands and different things. It's exciting. It's fun and it's nice to connect with whoever you go with as well. And yeah, definitely movement is key. I think like I've been saying it's about keeping a bit of a routine and a bit of a structure at the weekend as well as the weekdays and not just letting yourself free fall.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't just like be really good in the week and then go fuck it on a weekend because that 80/20 mindset is just gonna go out the window. Whereas if you've got like we say, bits of both going on throughout the week, and yes, you have an odd meal here, odd meal there, it's not going to be the end of the world. Those meals do not define you. They do not mean you're shit. They do not mean you've ruined it. They do not mean you need to give up. Like, you just go again. You just carry on. Like, yes, if you find yourself, like you say, going out quite a few times, okay, pick one meal that you're going to be like, right, that's the meal that I'm going to go out and really like have whatever I want, not be bothered. I'm going to pick that thing. But the other ones around it, I'm going to be a little bit more mindful because, this is a birthday celebration or it's a wedding or it's this or it's that. Like, I'm going to really go out and enjoy that. And the other ones, yep, okay, maybe I'll just pick something a little bit more nutrient dense on the other days or not have dessert every time I go out, or a starter every time I go out, depending on which way you like, or both.
Yeah. Actually, I always used to be like, oh, I want a starter and then maybe get a dessert. And it's like, then you just leave there so full and just feeling, whoa. Whereas actually just having like a main, sometimes I get dessert, I really want one, but there's something on there that I'm not really fancying. Sometimes, like in the past, it would be like, well, I'll just get extra fancy dessert. Whereas now I'm like,
Yeah.
do I actually like anything on this menu? No, not really. Whereas, if it's like a cheesecake or something that I really love, I'm like, got a bit more room, I really fancy that, I'm gonna have it. Whereas other times it's like, I just don't really fancy it today, and that's okay.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely that. And I think we also have to remember like a lot of people fear the weekends because they feel like they're going to screw up, like, or they've got these things going on. But remember, like, food is also a social thing. It's a thing to enjoy. It's a cultural thing. It isn't just like a diet thing. And we need to make sure we enjoy these times. Like yesterday, someone at the wedding was like, "Can you eat that?" the pizza, and I was like, yeah, I can. Why? Can you not? Like, oh, I thought you're a PC. Yeah, cool. Can still eat it. Look, we were talking about this last week, right? And then someone mentioned it at this wedding. I was like, friggin' hell, yes. And I said, and she's my client, and she can also eat that pizza. Like she can get as drunk as she wants. She can do whatever the fuck she wants today. Like, it's a wedding. She's not going to be coming to this wedding. Oh, hopefully not. Not coming to a wedding like this again. Like, you know. So it's also enjoying those moments, like some people love cooking and are really good at cooking. Like, go and enjoy the experience that they're giving you. Don't fear that. Like, you know when you're full, you know you don't necessarily need a second portion. Like, and one is enough. Like, but also some days you might go, oh God, do you know what? That is so nice. Give me another one. Yes, you might come out of there feeling really full, but it's once. You're not doing that every time.
As long as you're not doing that every time, every day. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's really true. I think being like food is about being social. It is about creating memories, isn't it? And having things that you really love. And I know a lot of us, when we go away, we always love finding the best food. And it's not
Yeah.
necessarily that we're eating double portions and stuff. We just like to find good tasting food. And that might be a really nice, delicious salad, or it might be a big pizza, or it might be boiled pasta, or it might be, I don't know, like it doesn't really matter as long as it kind of is tasty, isn't it? Um,
Yeah.
that's the most important thing. And you go look back and think of the memories and think, oh, that was a really nice trip, and I love that being social and having those things to eat. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Exactly
important.
that. We're always going to remember like the Christmas markets we've been to, and like how like a lot of the time when we go out, we like get two different dishes, don't we, and split it in half and then switch
Yeah,
because we're
yeah,
greedy and we want to know what more of the menu is, and we've got pretty similar tastes, so we're like, yeah, let's get half and half,
yeah,
like, and then just put them on each other's plates or whatever. But it is like I think, especially when you go to other places, like tasting their food and their culture is like a massive thing. And when we've gone to places and we've not enjoyed the food, that's like the worst thing. Like Cape Verde, we thought we were going to this really lovely restaurant, and I mean, the dessert was good and the cocktail was good, but the rest of it, it wasn't anything like it was advertised, and it's really sad. Like,
yeah.
whereas when we went to like Cologne, like or yeah, or even like Croatia, like the truffle pasta there is incredible. So we always want to go back and have the truffle pasta there, and the dark chocolate ice cream, like that was insane. Like, and we would go and get one like every other night or every night, but like we were away, we were experiencing the food. I don't do that when I come home.
No, I mean I did buy ice creams the other night, and I might have all four of them one night in a row, but then I won't do that again for another about time because I'll be ice creamed out. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not eating ice cream, big bowl like thing of ice cream every single day forever.
No, exactly
But
that.
actually, if you fix into your calories and stuff, then technically you can. Do you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. As long as you're getting highly nutritious foods into your diet throughout the day, then so be it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have an ice cream. Have a chocolate bar, as long as you're being mindful of how big that ice cream and chocolate bar is.
Yeah. I mean, if you're eating 4, 5, 6, 700 calories worth of these things, so there's maybe something to look at. But 100, 200 calories isn't going to be the end of the world.
Absolutely. Exactly that. But yeah, I think it's just to remember, oh, and I suppose alcohol, right? Alcohol is also a big one for people on weekends. Because again, the whole, screw it, doesn't matter, we'll do what we want. Like, and having the barbecues and going out for dinner and doing the bottomless brunches, which more people are more likely to do on a weekend, like they can then have a knock-on effect again on your food in terms of, oh, you just go screw it, so you have then a takeaway pizza. So that's already like what you're way over like 3,000 odd calories a day. Like, depending obviously how much of that you eat. But like alcohol is fun, alcohol has its place. It has moments for you to enjoy if you're doing it three times like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then it is making you eat all these other things and your sleep's crap and your decision making is not so good, then maybe it's something you need to look at and navigate. And if you do have like three different barbecues on the weekend, maybe go, okay, well, I'm gonna drink at that one, but these two, I'm gonna take a non-alcoholic drink, or I'm gonna drink lemonade, or drive. Like if you find yourself in that situation all the time, there's other little things that you can do. And people at these barbecues and that shouldn't be judging you if you don't want to drink. You're the only one putting whatever this is, food or drink, in your mouth. Like no one should be forcing you to do anything. And I know it's so hard to say no, but again, when you start saying no and you keep doing it, people do eventually get used to it, as hard as that first bit is.
Definitely. And that's actually, alcohol is one of the hardest things to think for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that, clients that I've had, can be pretty good with their food, but then it gets to the weekend and yeah, I have a bottle of wine there, prosecco here, this there, and it's like, well, I haven't really eaten much this weekend, so why? Well, do you know how many calories are actually in alcohol? Because there are a lot of calories. So if you're drinking two bottles of wine and a bottle of prosecco over a weekend, and your calories are maybe just a little bit under what you might have in the week, you're probably still going over. So be mindful of what you're putting into your cups because yeah, it can make a huge, huge difference. And like you say, you're going to be more hungry, craving the less nutritious food. You're going to be not sleeping as well. That's going to be having a huge impact on everything. Just a vicious cycle. So, and it's not about completely cutting it out, but yeah, like you say, do those little things of maybe driving one night, allowing yourself to have one glass of wine one night, one glass another night. Maybe put half a glass of wine, half a glass of lemonade or soda or something. Dilute it a little bit if you like that, and have something like that as well. And you've got to make that conscious choice. Like if you are happy with the way that you are and the way that you feel, then continue along that path. Drink all the alcohol the weekend. If you're not, you've got to make that change. You've got to make that conscious decision to be like, I'm going to have to cut down a little bit. And yeah, it is a bit shit because you want to have those drinks. But at the end of the day, you can either choose the path where you reach your goals or your path where you don't. So you've got to make that decision
Mm,
ultimately. Which
yeah,
one you want to
definitely.
choose?
Yeah, I didn't. I said to the girls like because I had work at 7 a.m. this morning actually. My 7 a.m. cancelled. She was like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "Don't worry about it. It's fine. This is okay. I'm happy about this because I know I'm not going to get in till midnight, and that's 2 hours past my bedtime." Um, but I said to the girls, "I'm going to drive. Like, I will drive us to this wedding. Like, I'm happy to have one or two drinks. That's it. Like, and whatever." And actually, like, I don't think I don't think any of the other girls had more than two drinks, to be honest. That one of them might have had three or four, but it wasn't like crazy. We were still on the dance floor, we were still dancing, we were still, which for me is like a big thing, dancing without like in front of loads of people without having any like drink or a bit of confidence,
Yeah,
like, but we still had a good time. Once we started dancing and just ignored everyone else, like we were loving life. We're just taking a piss out of how badly we were dancing and stuff. Like but everyone else was like, there were other people that were quite drunk. They ain't gonna remember how I danced last night. They don't even give a shit about what I was doing last night.
no, that's
Like,
true.
but I didn't feel like we needed like the drink, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I remember the whole night because I'm not like fooling around and getting really drunk. And yeah, I think if I hadn't have driven, then I know I would have had three, four, five, six drinks. I'd have regretted it today. This podcast would have been bollocks because I'd have been so tired. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to get up this morning for my client. Like, I would have got up, but like taking the dog out first would not have done that. Like, as struggled as it was to get up at 7 a.m. because we got in at midnight. Like, so on top of that, with alcohol and all of that, it would have been, yeah, it would have been rubbish. But I made the conscious decision to drive because then I knew I wouldn't want to drink. Well, I couldn't
Yeah,
drink.
yeah. You literally couldn't drink.
Yeah, exactly. So, like sometimes, and like in the moment, I'm like, oh God, I really wish I hadn't driven. like so I could have a couple more drinks, like because it was a nice vibe and I was enjoying it. But then at the same time, this morning I was taking the dog out for a walk, thinking, "Oh, I'm so glad I didn't drink last night.
Yeah.
Like, thank God."
It's always in the moment that you're like, oh, I wish I could have one, but then it's always afterwards, isn't it? You're like so grateful to your past self for like not allowing you to get into that situation. It's the best feeling the next day. You're like, I know I'm tired, but at least I'm not hungover.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, and just watching people stood waiting for taxis, thinking, "Oh, that's extra money," and it would have cost us a fortune to get home from where it was. And like, we could just jump in the car, off we went. Great. People were still waiting when we left, and they came out way before we left. We got to see the last dancing, all of that, left, and it was great. So, you know, sometimes it's worth being the driver
Yeah, yeah,
and not
definitely.
drinking.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably it for today.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've covered everything.
I think so. I
I can't
think so.
think of anything else that you have to do on a weekend to navigate it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for listening, guys. I hope you found that helpful. And if you have any problems like navigating weekends or anything, then feel free to reach out to us. You can email us at bitgirlswhoeat93@gmail.com, or you can message us on our socials. We're always happy to help. Um, but yeah, if you have any suggestions for us, let us know. And I suppose you'll catch us in the next one.
You absolutely will. Ciao for now. Love saying that.
Bye.